So this podcast was inspired, over the past couple weeks. I've been surfing through LinkedIn, Facebook, everything like that, even Instagram, and I'm seeing so many therapists out there, putting up ads for hiring. They're so busy, they're overbooked, they're on the verge of burnt out, and they want to get somebody in to help with that load. And it's just like I'm seeing ads left and right, and I'm having conversations with other massage therapists out there, and they're like, I can't find anybody. And the people that I do find are, in all honesty, just not good. They're very low quality. And this is a problem for everybody out there. The people that stuck it out through COVID that were doing good work, they're left on the other end being overly worked and just so busy that they can't keep up, and they're destroying their bodies, they're destroying their minds, and they're burning out. And that can be a big problem. So they think that they can just offload this on some new people, but there's going to be a lot of headaches associated with that. So in this podcast, I go through why it's probably not a good idea to hire someone right now, and getting to the idea that you shouldn't hire out of a need. You should actually hire for somebody that's a good fit. And then I give you 2 strategies right away that you should do instead of trying to hire somebody. So I hope you enjoy the show. I'm Dr. Matt Maggio, and welcome to the Soft Tissue Revolution, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment method that allows them to easily double their income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider. Welcome back to the show. So just a couple housekeeping notes before we get into the podcast today about why I don't think now is a good time to hire and what you should do instead. Just some housekeeping stuff. We just dropped a brand spanking new, pretty awesome free training series in my method called the Peak Method, with the promise, when people implement it and they do it, they truly can be taken seriously as that healthcare provider, and you can cut your treatment times in half and double your income. I know they sound lofty. I know sometimes they can sound like complete bullshit and complete nonsense. Just go through the training and, let me prove you wrong. Got nothing to lose. We're going to be doing some in-person CEU courses. We have one coming up this month. It's going to be a cervical and shoulder and thoracic seminar. And then next month, we're going to be doing a lumbar, hip, and hamstrings and quads next month. All that information is in the show notes. The free training is in the show notes. And if you have any questions on the continuing education, it's time to get back to hands-on stuff. Because we can't learn everything online. Just send us an email. All that information we can get over to you, and we'd love to have you come and do one of our hands-on seminars. They've been great, the ones we've done so far. But let's get right into the show. So many people out there. I cruise through my LinkedIn feed, people that do coaching and training with me. Everybody's trying to hire somebody. I always see these things, hiring. We're seeing this across America, and as things start to open back up, there's plenty of jobs, but there's not a lot of people that want to work. And the same thing is happening in the massage field, and trying to get a quality practitioner in there just isn't happening. So many therapists that I talk with, they're way too busy. They're working really hard. And in all honesty, they're on the verge of burnout. A lot of these people were already doing good work before the pandemic hit, before COVID hit. And there's still a high need for what they're doing. I made a podcast, I think it was like last year, where I talked about the 4 types of people in any situation and who's going to make it, who's not going to make it. I'll link that up in the show notes because it really gives an idea of, especially somebody that's listening to this that was in this quadrant where I say, hey, you are of the highest level of quality and you're going to be fine no matter what you do. But these are the people that are sticking around. They stuck around. They already had good skills before. They were resilient, and now they're just busting at the gills, and they can't keep up with the demand. I saw this yesterday when we went out to breakfast yesterday, and you can tell the staff was short staff, and the girl who was our waitress was just busting her ass, and it's just you're just so overwhelmed. You're so busy because there's just people out there that just don't want to work right now. And you're one of the people that do want to work, and you want to help people. You got into this field for a reason, because you want to help people, and you couldn't imagine not doing that. But so you want to hire. I get this all the time, hey, do you have any ideas on hiring? How do I attract the right person? And all honesty, I tried this myself in my own clinics. We wanted to open up a bigger clinic here where I am in Iowa, as I just moved from Florida, and we wanted to replicate the system that we did in Florida, where we have it run by massage therapists, and they do really well and just crush it. And I want to do the same thing here in Iowa, and I put out, ads. I went and gave talks at schools. I did everything, and it was just like crickets. Nobody really wants to work, and it puts you in a bad spot because you need help, but there's just not good quality there. And there's no incentive right now for people to want to work. And this isn't a political rant on any way, shape, or form, but when we're paying people to sit home instead of going to work, like, what do we expect? Like, those people aren't going to be go-getters from where they are. And there's fresh grads aren't there. There's just not a lot of fresh grads, because you and I both know that nobody was like enrolling into massage program during COVID. They're like, well, why the hell would I do that right now? So there's not a lot of new grads coming out. And a lot of times with new grads, there's just a lot of headaches and frustrations that can come from that as well. In all honesty, like, it's just going to be poor quality. The people that are actually not working right now, and if they're looking for work, they're probably not that good, because there's such an abundance of people out there that need this treatment. They need this care, and you could open up a shop on your own and you could absolutely crush it. There's no shortage of people that want access to this care. I even tried to get like a regular just relaxation massage here in the city that I live in, and they're booked up for like 4 or 5 months. Like, you can't even get in to see people. There's plenty of opportunity. So these people that are actually looking for jobs, a lot of times they're just not going to have good quality. They're just not going to be good workers, and there's going to be a lot of struggles with that. And then you put yourself in a bad position. I've been there before in clinics that I've had. You start hiring for need instead if it's a good fit. So think about that. You hire for need, you make some concessions. You're like, wow, I just really need this. And they're not a good fit. They're not a good cultural fit. There might be things that you just don't like about them. They might not have good skills. And more than likely, if they're looking for work right now in this environment, their skills aren't very good. There's plenty of opportunity out there, because, I think 30 to 40% of the massage industry just went away. People were just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. Go back and listen to that podcast and you'll get a better idea where they just kind of went away. And more people want treatment. They want their injuries solved. They want their injuries fixed. And people aren't doing it. So yes, don't hire out of need. Instead, find a good fit. And in all honesty, I don't think you're going to find a good fit right now. If you do, they're a magical unicorn, and, give that person whatever they want, because they definitely don't exist that much now, what's going on. And when you do hire out of need, you're going to get someone that's inferior. I mean, they're not going to be as good as you, but they're going to be a lot worse than you. And your clients aren't going to like that. If you start shifting clients over to those people, they're not going to like that. They're going to bitch and complain. They're going to have an even bigger headache. They're not going to hold up to your high standards. And turnover is inevitably going to happen. You're going to lose these people again, and then you got to do this process all over again. There's just not good quality out there right now, and you know that. And you get into desperation, and you do that, and you bring on a person that you just know isn't a good fit, and you think you're going to make it work, and all it does is create more headaches. And I've seen this with some of the other people that we've coached and trained in my system. They're making the change to going to more of the injury-based, quicker treatment, solution-based, and what they wanted to do was hire someone to take over their relaxation-based, more longer sessions, and it ends up being a fucking nightmare. It becomes a headache, and those people are never going to be invested as they are. They're not going to be truly dedicated like you are, and it's just going to be more of a headache. But you're thinking in the short term, you're like, if I can just get some of these people off my plate and give them to other people, I can still make money, I can still survive, and I can keep this going. But you're just running around on the hamster wheel. You're not going to get yourself ahead of where you need to be, and you're just going to be in a bad spot. So do this instead. This is what I say. I got 2 things. Number 1, raise your prices. When people are like, oh my God, I feel so bad raising my prices. And money is such a emotional thing for people, but raise your prices. Raise your prices $5 or $10. At the end of the day, it's really not going to make a big difference. Let's put it this way, but it could make a big difference for you overall. So let's just use some numbers here arbitrarily. Let's say you do 20 sessions per week or 20 treatments per week. You raise it $5, that's an extra $100 a week, extra $400 a month over a year. That's an extra $5,000. That's good. That's nice money. Imagine if you raise it $10. That's $10,000 per year, just doing what you're already doing. And that'd be really good. Like, when's the last time you raised your prices? Everybody's raising prices out there. Like, inflation is here, inflation is going. And if you just explain to people why you're doing it, be like, hey, I have this good quality, I'm doing this. And if you're going to sacrifice your body and your health and you're going to rev it for the next couple months and you're going to work ungodly hours, try to see ungodly amounts of people, you need to put some money in the bank because you're going to have to pay that tax down the road. I'm not talking a tax to the government. I'm talking a tax on your body because you're going to really mess yourself up. So if you are going to be doing all this work and you're going to redline it, you need to get compensated accordingly and raise your prices. Like, if you feel bad about prices, like, that's your own shit. That's your own limiting beliefs. $5 or $10 ain't really going to make a difference. And if someone actually leaves because of $5 or $10, like, they're probably a shitty client anyway, and you'd be ready to get rid of them anyway. That's what I would say to do in the short term. Number 2 is just increase your capacity. What does that mean? Be able to see more people. This is what I talk about all the time in my method, the peak method. We literally show you how to work 50% less, but also double your income. People are like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I can't take on any more clients. No, you can't. You can't take on any more clients doing exactly what you're doing, spending an hour with them, spending an hour and a half, spending 2 hours, having to go through everything, having to change linens, having to be booked at capacity from where you are. What we teach you in my method is how to become more of an injury solutions provider, going down to a shorter treatment time. It's less wear and tear on you. It's more of a functional-based treatment for the client, and you actually start to solve their problems. Now you're able to double your capacity. You could even triple your capacity. What I actually teach is going down to a 20-minute treatment session and charging at least $50 per treatment. I think in some markets you can charge $60 to $75 when you actually explain it effectively of like what you can do, how you can help, why you're a solution for the injury, and you can start switching people over to our methods. You know, that's what we do when people come in. Like, I get this all the time when people are scared, they're afraid. They're like, well, I can't make this change. This is what my clients just expect me to do. I'm like, I totally get that. And first thing we do is we start by raising your prices. Then we start to trickle people into more of the peak method and things like that. And you just get your sanity back. You get your life back, you know. And what you're going to see is as you do it, you get to work the hours that you want to work. And it's less wear and tear on your body. At the end of the day, my goal with my methods and what I do is to teach you to be selfish for yourself so you can help more people. You know it's not realistic what you're doing. You know you can't do it. You can sit here and pretend that you can keep going. You can see 7, 8 massages per day, but you're not going to make it. You're fucking burnt out by the end of the day. Your body's beat up. Your mind's beat up. And you know what? You're making decent money, enough money, but this isn't going to last. And you got to make some changes and you got to do it because you're not going to be able to keep going where you are. And that might be hard to hear, but it's the truth. Sometimes people just have to tell the truth because you're not going to be able to magically find this unicorn that's going to be able to take over all your load, and your clients are just going to be like, yeah, I'm so happy to see that. They're going to bitch and complain. That's what they do. They get so used to you. They get so used to what you're doing. But you know what? They built trust in you, and they trust what you say. They trust what you do. And this is what we've done with our clients when we've transformed their practice from traditional massage to more injury solutions is we just have conversation with people about what we're doing, how we're doing it, why this is different, why this is more effective, why this is quicker, why this is better for everybody else. And you know what? You'd be amazed at how many people want to actually shift over to a shorter treatment time, a more injury functional based type of treatment. But you have to make that commitment. You have to have enough. You know, I always say, what is the hell you're living in? What is your hell right now? And I get it. You're like, shit, I should be so grateful for being busy. Yeah, you should. But you were fucking busy before COVID and you're busy after COVID. Like, it's not a good busy. It's not a quality busy from where you can go, and you have to make changes. So go back and re-listen to that podcast where I talked about the 4 types. If you're sitting here trying to find this magical person to hire, realize that it's not going to happen. Think about what a really good day looks for you, like what you want to be able to do. Own your prices. If you're good at what you do, $5 or $10 ain't going to make a big difference for the client, but it's going to make a big difference for you. An extra $5 or $10 grand a year, that could be life changing for a lot of people and can help you because you need to get paid if you're going to sacrifice your body going forward. So I know it's a lot, but you have to just have conversations with yourself and be like, can I do this better? Could I do this more effectively? And is this better for me? You need to be selfish with yourself. Selfish about what you do and how you show up, because if you blow your body up, you're burnt out mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever, you're not going to be able to last. You're not going to be able to help anybody. So you have to be selfish with yourself, take care of yourself so you can help more people. So closing it up, don't worry about hiring right now. For Christ's sake, raise your prices and learn from us. I'm putting out so much information, so much free information, because at the end of the day, I just want people to get better quality care of treatment, because I don't want people to end up on pain pills. And people that are going to be able to help people the most are massage therapists. We got all those limiting beliefs. You think you got to do things the old way, and the old way isn't working. Now's the time to change. Now there's the time to really focus on more functional based, more solution type, and just getting the life in the business that you deserve. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number one, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number two, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.